인도양의 섬나라 스리랑카는 초유의 국가부도 위기 속에서 고대 불교문화 자원 등을 활용한 관광 촉진 정책으로 경제 회생을 모색하고 있는데요. 한국 불교계 등을 상대로 해외 관광객 유치에 앞장서고 있는 사비트리 인드라차파 파나보크 주한 스리랑카 대사를 전경윤 보도국장이 만났습니다.
네, 대사님 안녕하십니까? 예, 오늘은 특별한 분을 모셨습니다. 사비트리 인드라차파 파나보크 주한 스리랑카 대사님이신데 대사님께 여러 가지 궁금한 게 굉장히 많아요. 제가 많은데 먼저 스리랑카가 요즘 이제 국가부도 위기다 해서 상당히 경제적으로 어려운데 현재 본국이나 또 이렇게 각국에 또 여러 우리 외교관들 나와 계신데 회생을 위해서 또 정상화를 위해서 어떤 노력을 하고 계신지 간단하게 좀 소개해 주시죠.
Thank you for having me here today. First of all, I think with regard to the economic crisis, the worst is over and now we are slowly coming back towards normalcy. Sri Lankan government has taken many steps to bring back the economy, including structural reforms for economic growth and sustainable development. And also we have spoken to bilateral donors. We have received IMF assistance. One of the things that embassies are doing is that tourism is an important element for the economic growth of my country. So we have been promoting tourism from Korea to Sri Lanka.
이 스리랑카에 대한 국제사회의 인도적 지원을 이끌어내기 위해서 특히 이제 여러 각국의 대사관들도 노력을 하고 있는 걸로 생각이 되는데 주한 스리랑카 대사관에서는 이런 문제에 대해서 어떤 활동을 좀 하고 있습니까?
One of the areas that Sri Lanka has received assistance from Korea, particularly NGOs and other associations, is we have had a shortage of supplies of some medications. Not all, but some medicines have been in short supply. So we are very happy to note and very grateful to many Korean NGOs, some linked with Korean Buddhist temples as well, that has donated medicines to Sri Lanka. And these have gone to the most needy hospitals in the country. And of course, the donation of medicines is often life-saving, so it is a very meritorious act.
저희 우리 여기 있는 분도 있지만은 팸 투어를 통해서 스리랑카를 많이 이제 둘러보고 많은 전 세계인들이 스리랑카를 굉장히 매력적인 관광지다. 그래서 관광 자원, 불교 문화 자원 이런 것이 상당히 많이 있습니다. 그래서 근데 이제 한국 불자들이 잘 모르는 경우도 아직 있어요. 좀 많이 알려줘야 될 것 같은데 대표적인 불교 문화 관광 자원 소개할 만한 게 있으면 좀 말씀해 주시죠.
I think there are very important religious sites in Sri Lanka that will be of interest to the Korean Buddhist. One is the Sri Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura. This is the sapling of the same tree under which Buddha attained enlightenment. And it is over 2,300 years old, and it is the oldest tree in the world to have a recorded history. So this is a very sacred tree. The second site is the Dalada Maligawa, or the Temple of the Tooth in Kandy, which houses the sacred tooth of the Lord Buddha. And it is a former palace of a king. And this is highly sacred and venerated place. And every year in July, we have a big pageant with elephants and drummers and dancers to celebrate and pay homage to the Buddha's tooth relic. There are few other places I would like to mention which is closely associated with the Buddha's life. It is said that Buddha visited Sri Lanka 3 times during his life. One to Kalaniya, one to Muthiangana, and the third to Nagadeepa. And there are still temples there and people still go and visit and pray there. So I would encourage the Korean Buddhist pilgrim to visit those places because these are the places that Buddha himself came. And finally, the mountain of Sripada, which on top of the summit, it is said, is the footprint of the Buddha. So every year, hundreds of pilgrims go up and climb this mountain to worship the footprint of the Buddha. So these are the places I think would be of interest to the Korean Buddhist.
우리 스리랑카는 이 콜롬보 인도양의 주얼리 보석이라고 부를 만큼 이 자연 환경, 인바이러먼트 정말 대단하다고 많이들 얘기합니다. 천혜의 환경이다 이렇게 얘기하거든요. 휴식이라든지 힐링, 치유, 뭐 이런 웰리스, 웰빙 이런 관광 코스로도 충분히 세계적으로 조명받을 수 있다 이런 생각도 드는데 어떻게 생각하십니까?
Sri Lanka already has a very good wellness tourism sector. We have our own traditional medicine system called Ayurveda, and that is very holistic. It treats the entire body, just not the ailment. So you may get massages, baths, oil treatments, as well as food and meditation and yoga, right? So there are lots of resorts around Sri Lanka that treats you for that. And like you said, Sri Lanka is a very beautiful country. So we have calm beaches, beautiful forests, misty mountains. So this is very also healing. Nature is healing. So we have a lot of nature, and your spirituality, your spiritual well-being and your physical health and your well-being also can be increased by being in nature. So we have the medical system as well as nature that will help you to heal and any sickness you may have, as well as get over your stress.
예전에 보면 말이죠. 서울이나 이런 데서 이렇게 스리랑카 음식이라든지 페스티벌, 문화 이런 걸 쫙 선보이는 행사 같은 거 하면 참 좋을 것 같아요. 이제 코로나 때문에 잘 못한 것 같은데 그런 걸 해가지고 이제 좀 많이 알리는, 물론 이제 거기 가서 현지에서도 알 수 있습니다만은 그런 기회를 좀 한번 마련했으면 하는 생각이 듭니다.
I think it's a brilliant idea. Because I think a food festival would be a very good way to introduce Sri Lankan cuisine to the Korean people, and you will be surprised. There's a lot of similarity in certain kind of food, and Sri Lanka also has a rich culture and various types of dances and drumming and music. So a cultural festival like that also is something that we are hoping to have together with the food festival. Sri Lanka has diverse variety of food. We grow a lot of, being a tropical country, we have a lot of fresh vegetables and wonderful kinds of fruit which you don't find in Korea, and they are very nutritious and healthy as well. So it would be a very good idea to have a food festival and a cultural festival to introduce Sri Lanka to Korea.
그 한국의 불자들, 부디스트들이 상당히 그 스리랑카의 그 불교 문화 유적을 굉장히 궁금해하고 가보고 싶어 하거든요. 그렇기 때문에 우리 대사님께서 스리랑카 대사로서 한국의 불자들에게 좀 당부하고 싶은 말씀 있으면 해주시죠.
Buddhism is very important in Sri Lanka and to Sri Lankans. So Sri Lankans are very respectful whenever we go to a temple of worship. And preferably if you are going to a Buddhist temple, you should always remove your footwear and any head cover that you have, and it's always best to cover yourself, and your clothing should be white or a light color. That's respectful. But of course we respect all the other religions in the country too. We have mosques and churches and Hindu temples, so whenever we go there we try to follow their traditions and respectful behavior towards them as well.
네, 지금까지 사비트리 인드라차파 파나보크 주한 스리랑카 대사님과 얘기를 나눠봤습니다. 오늘 아주 유익한 말씀 대단히 고맙습니다. 고맙습니다.